Hello everyone and welcome to the start of my solo playthrough of Resident Evil the board game by Steamforged Games, playing through, at the very least, the core scenarios in the scenario booklet that you get with the base box. Haven't decided yet whether or not we'll be incorporating the Bleak Outpost and Into the Darkness expansions or a Director's Cut extra monsters. For now we're just going to see how the game flows using just the base content. Solo playing as Chris. Jill's my favourite Resident Evil character, but I solo played as her for the Resident Evil 3 board game playthrough, so I thought why not use Chris this time. Different skill set, and using the rules from the rulebook specifically for solo play. It's just a couple of small changes we'll cover when we look at the character board in a second, but this is the book we're playing through. Unlike the previous iterations of this board game, most of the map is unknown when you start, so the stuff it actually shows you is very small. That's the actual map we're doing right there, but it does give you a hint about where the map will grow by looking up here. So it's not literally random, it has set rooms that go places, but you just don't know them all in advance to represent the characters exploring the mansion. Now hopefully in general it will be more missions but slightly more compact, because you need a lot of side table to have your player board, the campaign board, the mansion map, the various cards you need. So if any missions get as long as some of the ones in Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3, the board game, that would be a big problem table space wise, at least for the half of a 6x4 table I'm using. But anyway, let's look over player board and we'll get to the map after that. So here is everything set up for using Chris. We have his stat card up here, how many dice he rolls to do an evade, his starting inventory capacity, and starting kerosene amount, which is 4 and 6 inventory spaces. However, if you're playing with a solo character, you get plus 2 inventory spaces, so we'll actually be using all 8 that are sitting here. You also get double the limit of kerosene, which means we have 8, and as part of setting up the campaign you fill your tokens, hence he has 8 of them. He starts with a pistol, a knife, and a lighter, which means he can use those kerosene tokens. Other characters have to find the lighter, but he starts with it. He starts with a handgun with 15 bullets, as per the other versions of this game, and there is space for more weapons here. I'm just currently using it for a place to put the enemy stat cards, which we can quickly talk about. They have traits, threat level, move, and health, and they have a special attack that they do if told to on a attention card, because the attention deck is returning, or if the last card drawn from the attention deck matches the symbol that is on here. I think it's only the worst cards that have that though. Health track there, 5 and you're dead. And Chris has 2 special traits. If he kills an enemy and the kill shot did at least 2 damage, he decapitates them, which means you don't put down a corpse token, because zombies leave corpses in this because of the Crimson Head mechanic, I presume. And also when he uses a defense item, because the defense items from the GameCube version of Resident Evil are in this, you roll the d6 and you have a 50-50 chance of just getting it back. He doesn't use it up, so that's pretty good. So then you have this board, which is a lot of space taken up by this. You put your unused player characters here, and then also Brad Vickers face up here. The other characters come in the game, Wesker, Enrico, and someone else I'm forgetting. They're here shuffled because you find them as you play the game. These are the cards that show you how to expand the mansion as you explore any given level. You match up numbers to the map in the scenario booklet. These are missions which you can do when told to, and these are narrative cards right down here. Then you have your A deck, B deck, C deck. Your A deck, it tells you to take out some cards from it before you start. It tells you to do that for most of the decks, incidentally. Read the setup very, very carefully. The B deck is specific to the mission you're doing, so I believe in First Floor West A, which is what we're doing, there is 1, 2, 3, there's 4 items in the B deck. The C deck isn't used in this one as far as I can tell. And up here we have our tension deck. Might end up moving this because it's a bit out of the way for me to reach to it when we're playing. But we also have encounter cards here, which are another new mechanic, where previously you'd roll a die and something would happen if you go into an unexplored room in Resident Evil 2 or Resident Evil 3. Now you go in and you draw an encounter card up to the amount shown. So we're only going to see yellow tokens, which means you just draw 1. Could say there's nothing, it could say spawn a zombie, spawn a dog, that kind of stuff. These 4 things are for getting out of the mansion as far as I can tell. Not fully explained in the rulebook yet, because we have to get to that. So I think all that remains now is just to show you the play area. Actually no, one more thing first. So right up the tippy top left of my table is where I've set up the mansion map. And this is kind of similar to the campaign map you got in Resident Evil 3, the board game, where there's no set route. Some routes you won't be able to proceed too deep into until you find a key elsewhere, but you're pretty much free to explore. It does recommend that you go to first floor west first, which is why I'm doing that today. But they all, whoops, as I kicked the camera, apologies, you find other cards as you explore areas. Some of them have locked sides like Crypt B and Crypt A, and you just fill out the mansion, which probably means that's going to get quite a bit larger, so I'm going to have to move it somewhere else. But for now, if you did want to go somewhere else, you could go to second floor west, second floor east, first floor east. You can go whatever route you want. I'm just going the route they suggested because it recommends it. And this is the play area, or at least until we start breaking through the doors that seem to go nowhere, and then we discover more of the mansion and I'll have to look out a certain card. But we have Chris down here. I painted up a few models, hopefully enough to cover us. There's 3 zombies on the map to start with. There's actually a dog behind that door up there, and I've also got some other painted ones up there ready because I'll need them at some point. And our goal is just to explore, I think. I don't think there's actually a set thing we have to do. I'm going to double check that, because there is a process you do after a scenario. Objective. In this scenario, the characters must find and secure the safe room, and if you're in the safe room, you don't draw tension cards. Also, because it's the very first mission, if the tension deck runs out, we just reshuffle it. You don't lose. So, that's about it. Let's see. Shuffle the something tension card into a tension deck at the start of a scenario. I don't remember if I did that or not. I also don't know what that symbol means. It just said 1. You know, I'm going to have to go look into that before we get started. But gameplay flows much the same as it always did. You use actions to move squares, to attack, to open doors. Enemies react to sound. They have a reaction phase after you've gone. They have reactions if you miss killing them, or if you shoot it, say he was there and I shot and killed him, this one would react to the noise. And then the turn ends with a tension card, which can be mostly nothing to start with, but the deck will get worse as we go on. There is a danger dial for the game that tracks the general danger of the mansion itself, and if it gets too high, it's a failed condition. It's similar to mechanic in Resident Evil 3. Nastier stuff can happen on tension cards as well, depending on how dangerous it is. And I took a brief look at the after scenario checklist you have to go through, and leaving behind a lot of corpses raises the danger level a lot. So I'm going to be using actions to burn corpses, because in the long run that's going to help us out. Alright, I think we're actually good to go. I've moved the tension deck a bit closer. I had not put that card in the deck, so I'm glad I checked it, because it has a very iconic moment from the start of the game in it. So we can do 4 actions. I don't think I mentioned that when I was mentioning what I can do. I moved the tension deck over there just so I don't have to stretch as much until we expand the mansion. So our 2 choices when we start here is have Chris go over here, but he'd have to use his whole turn to even get line of sight. Or we'll do what I'm actually doing, which is spending 1 to open the door right here. We're going to go through for 2, and then that means we need to immediately proc this, which means we draw one of those encounter cards I talked about. So I'm just going to draw at the top of the deck, which is what we resolve. It is Spawnocerberus, aka a doggo. So there is a nasty dog in here. I believe I have to put it on the closest symbol, so that is right smack dab in front of me. How much health do they have? They only have 1. For my 3rd action, I'm going to close... Actually, I'm not going to close the door. I want those zombies to react. For my 3rd action, I will shoot at the dog. Much like in the previous versions, your pistol can rapid fire up to 3 times. That's just how many dice you roll and how much ammo you expend. I will use 2 bullets. And we're looking for the gunshot holes mean I do damage. But let's see. So that is indeed gunshot. So the dog is gone. Good. However, the zombies react to the sound of the gunshot that wasn't directed at them. And I still have 1 action left, so at this point I'm closing the door. Then we go to the proper reaction phase. Because I closed the door, there's no linked tile, meaning these zombies do nothing. And I draw a tension card. I think you shuffle the encounter deck after you've drawn everything, so I'll just put that. There is a space for a discard pile, so I'll just do that right now. There we go. Tension card. All clear. So nothing nasty happens. And then it just rolls right back around to Chris's turn. So we're going to move over here. We're going to loop for 2. And we get a B item. So I've already shuffled these. Let's see what we get. We got first aid spray. You know what? That's okay, because he didn't start with a heal. I think Rebecca starts with 2 and Jill starts with 1. Let's see, third action, we're going to move over here. Fourth action, we're going to open the door, which means reaction phase. The zombies are in a linked tile, so they do react, shambling along. And tension card. Another all clear. As I say, it is mostly all clears, but there is some nasty cards when the game starts. So we're going to move out for one, and then I have to lower my ammo dial. Of course, I used 2 ammo, so we've got 13 left. I'm going to fire 2 again at the zombie in front of me. We've got 2 pushes, which I will use. Unfortunately, it doesn't do damage, but we'll just force him into the corner. This zombie reacts, and that's us down to 11. I'm going to use 2 more bullets for third action. Wow, that's actually a double miss. Well, at this rate, we might just evade then. This is down to 9. Got 1 action left. I think I'm just going to waste the action and then try and dodge past them. I'll need a medium dodge to dodge past 2 of them. Sure, we got a first aid spray, why not? Why not, indeed. So yeah, I'll just not do a fourth action. Turn ends, they shamble towards me. Oh, better make sure that as long as the last tension card drawn doesn't have like an X on it, they don't do their nasty attack. Tension card, all clear. Let me go double check if evading works like it did in the previous game, and then that's what I'm going to do. Yep, it's actually in the quick reference right on the back of the rulebook right there, so that's perfect. It does work like the same. Now, just for the record, if you wanted to, because the tension deck just refreshes because we're playing the first mission, you could just walk in here, give them the runaround and get out. I'm not going to do that because that's boring. We're going to move for 1, and then we're going to try and move away for 2. So we need a medium or better evade. That is a small one, which doesn't count. So unfortunately we're stuck here. We push a zombie and take 1 damage. And then we try and evade again. This time we only need that result, which is the basic evade. And we got the best evade, of course. So move away. So we moved in, we failed an evade. 3, 4. Zombies give chase. And we tension card. All clear. It lied. Now then, the A deck could be anything. The A deck is huge when we start here, so I'm just debating. There's no searching if I go in here. So if I go 1, open door for 2, go in for 3, close door for 4, we're actually fine. They don't react, they stay right where they are, we just go intention card. It's an all clear. We're going to go 1, 2, pick up for 3, move back for 4. Let's see what this is. Top of the A deck, pre-shuffled. It's a green herb, which is heal this character or another character in the same space by 1 level, but obviously you can combine them with red herbs if you can find them, and it will do the same as a first aid spray. Tension card! All clear. There is nasty ones in here, I promise you. So, we're going to have to go explore, obviously, because there is no way to get to this side of the mansion without going through here. So, 1, open for 2, go through for 3, come here for 4. The zombies react because it's a linked tile. Tension card, all clear. So now we get to do the explore mechanic. Go for 1, open for 2. Now, as is my understanding of how it's written, but by all means correct me if this is wrong, when you open a door into an unexplored area, you go populate it and you get placed inside the new area. It doesn't seem like that takes up one of your actions by the way it's worded to me, but if that's wrong, point me to the page that makes it clear. So we look at the scenario book. It has a number 1 on it, so what we look for is first floor west A number 1 card, which I think is near the top of the deck anyway because they planned it out, and it shows you now what you've discovered and you have to lay it out. So all of a sudden the mansion has grown considerably in size. It was a little confusing because it's a number 1 on the scenario map, so you would think when you draw the card it also has 1s to show you how to match up. It has S's, which means links up to the starting area. So this is what the card looks like for the number 1 for first floor west, but you obviously have to orientate it so that it links to the starting area. So it actually wants you to orientate it like that. So it is a little confusing. They should have just had the number 1 there to show that it links back to number 1, but either way, it's generated a room here that has a B item in it, a corridor here with a broken door, a room here that has an A item, there's a B item up there, and there's a simple lock there. There is a simple, or a small key in the B deck, and I'm going to presume that that's where the safe room is. I don't know, I didn't look ahead, because that links through to a number 2 door, so that's a different area entirely. But as I was saying, when you generate a new area, I believe you get to walk through for free, so we still have an action left. But he's immediately where you have to draw an encounter card, and because there's a linked broken door here, we actually have 2 up there. So we're drawing 3 in total, which could be very bad. Starting with the single that's directly in front of him. Draw a tension card, oh, spawn a zombie and draw a tension card, because I believe you do top to bottom on these. Okay then, spawn a zombie, it'll be on the closest biohazard symbol, which is here, and draw a tension card. Oh no, shattering glass. Draw an additional tension card. Now, because of our danger level being at nothing, we don't do these symbols, thankfully. So we'll draw an additional tension card as instructed. It's an all clear, and then 2 encounter cards for up here. Spawn a zombie, search the encounter deck discard pile for any cards that will spawn entities that spawn Cerberus enemies rather, and shuffle them back into the deck. We drew 1 that would draw Cerberus, so I'll shuffle that back in a second. A single zombie up in that room. He has to start in that room because that's where it's happening. And then the other encounter card for that area. Spawn 2 corpses. I'm just going to use corpse tokens for now because I don't have any painted corpses for this game yet. I did have some for one of the other Resident Evil 3s. 1 on that symbol, and I guess 1 on this symbol. I'm going to have to get rid of them. So I still have 1 action left, if my math is correct, and moving into a new area is, when you're populating like that, is fine. I'm going to close the door though, because I don't want those other zombies following me. Which means I'm going to have to move the camera for 1, which I'll do in a second. We'll just quickly do reactions. This zombie walks onto my tile, which is a problem, and this zombie blocks the door right there. So that's a problem. Alright, I've shuffled that Cerberus encounter card back in the deck. We're going to try and do an evade for our first action. We succeeded. Single evade is fine for 1 zombie, which I hope was in. I'll try and roll there. So we're going to move over here for 1. Open. I was going to do that, but that's 2 encounter cards in there. That's awfully dangerous. Sure. 2 in for 3, close for 4. But draw 2 encounter cards. Let's see what nastiness awaits us in here. I need the B card. After resolving all spawn entries on cards drawn with this card, replace the closest corpse with a zombie. Well, currently there's no corpses, but this could spawn a corpse. Spawn 2 zombies. That's much worse. Oh, doubly so, because I only have 1 more zombie currently painted up. But you know what? Those 2 zombies back at the start, they ain't being used because I'm not going back there. So, oh, he's on a, oh dear. The second one spawned right there. Because it has to, I believe. So that means he is going to try and take a bite out of Chris at the end of the turn there. You know, I can't remember if you're allowed to evade at the end of a turn bite. I'm going to have to double check. Yep, you do get the chance to evade, so let's see if Chris evades. He absolutely does, and I owe you a tension card for that turn we just did. Fevered Assault. This card remains in play for... oh no, wait, ignore that part, sorry. During the next player turn, increase enemy movement values by 1. Okay. That's nasty. So, am I just running in, grabbing the B item and running? Probably am. So let's do an evade again for our first action. We did the middle one, oops, as I'm knocking everything over. That's the other problem with rolling dice near his tail. Picking that up for 2. Walking over here for 3-4. Because I want the zombie to move away from the door. Now, what B item did we find? We're looking for simple key. We've got a 1 in 3 chance. We found a lighter, which I'm just going to leave because Chris has a lighter by default and I don't want it clogging up my inventory. Well, actually, we have storage we can use between levels, so never mind. I'll take it for now because we have space, but we can definitely dump it. So the end of turn movement, both these zombies move 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Giving Chris all the hugs. Tension card. All clear. It lied. And now we need a medium or a super evade to start his turn. That is neither, so he's going to push the zombie away, take 1 damage, that's us on half health. And then second action, try and evade again. This time you made it. For 2, for 3. I don't want to go out until I have a full turn, and they only move 1 now, so I'll end my turn there. Actually, I'll heal with the green herb as my last action. So we'll use up the green herb, discard it, heal back up, so we're 1 above caution. Moves towards. Attention card is all clear. Now we do the part where we run. Open the door for 1, go through for 2, close the door for 3, and walk up here for 4, which hopefully you can still sort of see. Maybe if I come this way just a little bit in camera editing. End of turn reactions. There's only 2 zombies on an active tile now thanks to us closing that door. So we've got 1 on either side of us, which is a little scary, but attention card for that turn. Vigor Mortis. Enemies on the same tile as the active character immediately perform a reaction. Okay, well, now they're both on Chris. I see. That was unfortunate timing. Again, we don't do the second part of the card because we're not at that danger level. Well, that's both a good and a bad thing, because I do just kind of want to run away from them. Yeah, we'll try double evade. Haven't had much success with the double evade yet, but let's try. That is the best evade, so we do make it for 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to use a kerosene token to burn that corpse. So we now have 7 left. You can find refills on the map, and they're worth I think 3, but you have to use an action to refill. End of turn reaction. Zombo. All clear. Now then, 1 pickup for 2, 3. There's no real avoiding the zombies. 2, 3, 4, yeah, no matter what I do. Okay, well in that case we'll just grab the item. So we'll go 1, pick up for 2, come back here for 3, and then wait. We're looking for a... Oh, we found a kerosene container. So this is exactly what I was talking about. So instead of placing this card in inventory, place it face up on the target square with 3 kerosene tokens in it. The character can use it to refill. So I only am missing 1 right now, so I'm just going to put 1 on it, but I can put up to 3 on it. Okay, there we go. Move the camera a little bit. Noticed that I wasn't quite showing what was going on. There's the kerosene. It's on this tile here. Attention card for that turn is an all clear. I'd say we're not quite halfway through the attention deck as is. And then both those zombies react and walk on through. So we know for sure that the simple key I need to get out and probably finish the scenario is unfortunately over on the right to the part of the map that can't quite be seen at the minute. We come this way. So, if I was 1, 2, 3, 4, the dog would definitely get to us. I'm going to double check that diagonal movement is allowed. Yep, diagonal movement is allowed. I was forgetting that. I think I cost myself an action earlier as a result. So we're moving over here for 1, open door for 2, go through for 3, and slam it for 4, which does put us face to face with a doggo, but at least I can afford to kill the doggo because it doesn't leave a corpse. That said, what is its reaction? It's a range 0 attack, it moves 2, so it is still going to have to react by walking onto my tile at the very least. So it's not so bad. Unless this tension card says it gets free attack, which it doesn't. We'll use 2 ammo to try and take out the dog. Okay, well, he's really good at doing that apparently. That's us down to 7 ammo over 15 that we started with. And we're just going to prep for a turn after this. So we're going to go here. We're going to... No, not open the door. Oh yeah, open the door. I think I have to step in for it to trigger the encounter card. And then we'll just wait. Because I'm going in there, I'm grabbing the B item, and then I'm running for my life. Cornered. Oh good. Locate the tile closest to you with the active character where there are enemies but no characters. Remove them from that tile. Sorry, remove the enemy on the tile with the highest threat value while zombies are equal. And place them on the closest biohazard symbol to the active player. So one of these zombies makes the Dragon Ball Z teleportation noise. Ugh, and it's literally right on me. Because that's the closest biohazard symbol, because of course it is. Excellent. He doesn't get to attack though, right? No, he just moves. Okie dokie. Well, let's do an evade to start this turn. That is a single evade, good enough for a single zombie. We're moving in, and we have to resolve this with 3 actions left. Discard this card without effect. Oh, nice. 3 actions left. Here for, well, there's a wall there. 2, 3, pick this up. We know it's the key I need. But here it is, right there, to open the simple lock over on the left there. We still technically have 2 inventory spaces left because solo rules gave us 2 more, but normally Chris only has 6 spaces, so we'd be filled up at this point. The zombie comes in to say hi with his hand. Tension card is an all clear. I might grab that A item because no matter what I do, I'm going to have to dodge that zombie in this room. So let's go 1, pick up for 2, 3, 4, just to see what we can find. Wouldn't mind some ammo. We found a red herb after I used the green herb. Oh, that's not focusing, is it? It just says discard when using a green herb to heal 2 additional levels. We used the house rule that it takes up 1 space, like it does in the video game if you mix them together, and we'll be continuing that as well here. End of turn, the zombie walks onto us. Reanimate. Locate the corpse closest to the active character, remove the corpse and spawn a zombie. Well, there's only 1, so that's gone now. And there's now 2 zombies blocking my way to my escape over on the left right there. Top left. That's where he appeared, that's where the corpse was. Alright, Chris. Let's see. Well, at least that means I don't need to burn it. Let's see you do a dodge. Good. Good enough. Best dodge. 1, 2, close for 3. Slam that zombie in. Move here for 4, ready to go for it. So just go straight to attention card. Sorry for reaching across the camera. That is an all clear. Get used to me doing that because I have to go backwards and forwards. So. I don't know for sure, I genuinely didn't look, but if the safe room is just through that door, I can afford to burn my ammo because between missions you get 15 bullets back. Let's open the door for 1, and let's pop off a couple of shots at the closest zombie. Double miss. This is why we can't have nice things. They both react. That's us down to what, 5? Yeah. I'm gonna pop 2 more. One of these days I'll kill a zombie. That's 2 pushes. So he goes push push. He goes hi, I'm here now. I'll fire 2 more as a final action into the zombie that's now closest. Finally! There we go. Takes him out. Leaves a corpse. He reacts. Then at the end of the turn he reacts again. Tension card. Frayed nerves. If the next character is on the same tile at the start of their tension phase, they draw 2. Thankfully I'm not going to be, because I'm about to move into a room. I'm going to have to leave 1 corpse on the floor if I just ignore this guy though. I'm going to double check the end of mission stuff. I think 1 corpse is okay, but I'm going to double check because if it isn't, I'm going to have to remove it. Turns out we're actually good up to 5 corpses, so no problems there. We're going to move in for 1, move away for 2 with a dodge. Yep. So we're actually here. We're going to go 3, 4. Can't use action the door this turn though. Mr. Zombie turns round and ponders towards us, wanting to show us his hand. All clear for the tension card though, which means we're then going to use the simple lock. Well, rather, we're using the old key to unlock. And that would take us off the map. So we just discard that. So I'm going to have to go look out another card. So once again the mansion has grown. We've discovered another door right next to where we've come in. It has 2 encounter cards and a item behind the door. This L-shaped corridor with a single card we're going to have to resolve right now. And then a door here, and this is the safe room. So I was correct, that is where you end the scenario. But first let's see what's waiting for us in this corridor. I had to move the tension deck out of the way. Spawn a zombie on the active character's square. Well, that's much worse, which is lovely. So there's actually a zombie. I guess he smashed through the window. It's a bit hard to see because of the door here. I'm not planning on going in this door, so I'll just move it to the side a little bit. Now, we open the door, going through for free, as far as I can tell. So we have 3 actions left. Oh, and this goes away. We're just going to try and dodge past him. I want out of here. We did get it. So, boop. So that was 2, 3, 4. We're gunning it for the safe room. Zombie gives chase. Zombie gives chase. Tension card. All clear. 1, 2, 3, open door. Zombie sort of gives chase, they're kind of slow. Draw another tension card. Mission update. Oh good, we're going to get to see this before I finish. So this is draw a mission card. And well, we'll just do it. Top of the deck, it's the Special Tactics and Rescue Service cards. The Stars cards, aka. Top one, oops. Take point. Place this card to one side of the playing area with the assigned character next to it. For the rest of the scenario, when a tension card is drawn, the assigned character can suffer 1 damage to discard the card without resolving the effects. If this kills the assigned character, remove their card from the game. So it's not going to matter because we're almost safe, but Brad is doing that for us, so I'll put his card below it. I don't know how much he needs to die. Actually, you know what? That says reserve character. I don't know if that counts as assigned, rather, because he doesn't have a health value. So it probably means Jill or somebody. I'm not 100% sure. Again, it's not going to matter this time around because I'm just going to walk out. It doesn't matter what the next tension card is, really. So I think these zombies are due to walk away. And oh wait, no, that was the tension card for the end of the turn. So actually, yeah, just walk in, slam the door. There should be a item box there, but I didn't bother. And that takes us to the end of the mission. So luckily for Brad Vickers, he does not have to get eaten by zombies so that we don't get bad tension card draws. So when we finish the scenario, you go to page 32 of the rulebook and go through the scenario completed list. There is also a list of things you do if a scenario was failed. If the players completed the scenario, follow the steps below in order. Increase the mansion danger level by 1. This is the dial I was referencing. It starts on the S for start. You move it up by 1. Eventually it gets to these symbols. So now if there is a hand symbol, I guess, on an encounter card, a tension card rather, we do the thing. But then it's like the bite mark, and then finally the skull and crossbones. So that's done. If there are 5 or more corpses, there is not, but if there was, we would shuffle a certain card into the tension deck. Unless there's already 4 instances of it in the deck, in which case you just raise the danger level. If there are 5 or more zombies on the playing area, oh, that's hard to keep track. Oh, there's more. 2, 4, 6. There should be more than that, but I didn't have painted zombies. If there are 5 or more zombies in the playing area, increase danger level by 1. If there are 10 or more zombies, increase the mansion danger level by 2. I don't think we got up to 10, so I will increase it by 1 more, like that. Discard any key items. I already did. And then each character can use the item box to store or retrieve. We'll be storing the lighter in the communal storage because Chris has one by default, so it's not really needed. I might store the red herb as well. Actually, yeah, I'm going to store the red herb and hold on to the first aid spray. That seems like a good idea. Reset handgun ammunition to 15. If you have other guns, increase them by 2. You can then use any ammo you've got at that point to give them more. Heal each player by 1. This is also another house rule we used in Resident Evil 3 where we fully healed between missions, which we might end up doing here as well. But it says do it by 1, which actually does take Chris to full health in this instance. Heal each non-exhausted character in the reserve by 2 levels. Return exhausted characters to their standard orientation. Shuffle any discarded A items, tension cards and encounter cards back into their respective decks. I'll do that off camera. And then finally, discard any remaining ink ribbons. Didn't have them for that scenario. So that is first floor West A, which would now mean that we find first floor West B over here, but it has a locked side. And if a card has a locked side that you would add to the mansion, you have to put the locked side down first. So first floor West B, which is actually no, West B, maybe West. That probably is. B must follow on from West, right? I'll double check, but presumably we need to find the sheet music to proceed further down this path. Oh, we can tell actually, because if the numbers match up. First floor West A, yep, it does. So we can't proceed this path anymore until we find the sheet music and play Midnight Sonata, which means the next time we can pick to either go second floor West or first floor or second floor East. You know, I might pick first floor East. I was trying to think how to get to where the grenade launcher is. Not that Chris usually gets the grenade launcher, but I can't remember where in the original mansion you would go for the shotgun. I guess that would be first floor east. You'd go through the dog corridor through there. Because I'm looking to get a better gun as soon as possible. The pistol is not good at killing zombies, or not as good as you would think without upgrades. Either way though, I sincerely hope you enjoyed. Please do show your support if you want to see more of this, so I can prioritise getting more of the zombies and monsters and things painted as we carry on here. I figured I'd have just about enough to do this, and I didn't quite, but we made do. But do let me know, and thank you very much for watching this one if you did though, and until next time, ta for now.